Hello, hello, hello. Super excited about today. I'm going to share five mini offers that I'm hoping will inspire you to create your own. Obviously, we're in a crazy time right now and generating revenue, whether you're generating new revenue or taking advantage of things you already have, repackaging them into a way that funnels people into other higher ticket items just makes sense. As you guys are coming in, let's do something a little different. Normally, when I welcome everybody in, I say, hey, where in the world are you? But today, let's mix it up and take a look to your right and tell me what's the first thing you see. So for me, the first thing I see is my coffee mug. I've had 2 cups of coffee already this morning. So if I talk fast, blame it on the coffee. So for you guys, what's the first thing you see when you look right? I'd be curious to see what everybody says. Lola, says Rhonda. Teresa says my lunch. Excellent. Lamp. All right. Computer monitor. Paul says my desk. A beaver. Well, that's kind of interesting. Like, not everybody can say that, right? So Rachel says her water bottle, beautiful floral wallpaper. And if you are brand new to my life and you don't have a clue who I am, I would love to, say hey to you. So if you'll drop in new so I can, welcome anybody that's brand new, who's never been on my lives before. And since you may not know me, my name is Kim Garst. I'm an online business strategist, and I love, love, love helping people generate revenue online. My background is that I've owned an online business, actually I've created seven-figure businesses in the last 28 years online. So I know a thing or two. I love sharing what I do know. So we've got a Corona journal. Let's see what else we have. The dog, Kim says the dog. Welcome, Ferg. I'm so glad you're here. Teresa, welcome, welcome. Okay, good. So Edward says it's a plush beaver. All right. It's better than a real thing, I suppose. Or maybe not. Clifford says he's new. Welcome, Clifford. So glad you're here. Wow. We got a lot of new folks. Astrid is new. Welcome. Christine is new. So glad you're here. And like I say, today I'm going to focus in on mini offers that my hope is that will let me pull that back. Sorry, I'm trying to manage all the pieces here. That will inspire you to create your next or first mini offer. All right, so I'm going to pull up my screen here because I do have a little presentation that we're going to use today. So like I say, 5 mini offers. I'm going to run through all 5 of them and then why they work, because I want to tell you guys why they worked, what the intention behind them was, and then why they worked. All right, so let me get my stuff all lined up here. Bear with me. Sometimes I think I'm ready and then something is not quite in the loop. All right. So you really only need 2 things to make money. And I say this whether you're an online business or are moving your brick and mortar business online, or components of your brick and mortar business online, or if you have a brick and mortar business, meaning a physical location where people walk through the door. There's really only 2 core things that you need. You need something that people want and offer, and in some cases it's your product or your service. In this connotation, and what I want to share with you today is an offer, not just your product or service. And there is a difference between that. And I'm going to tell you what that difference is in just a minute. So hang in there with me. And then you have to put it in front of the right people. So you have to have something that people want, and then you have to match it up to the people who want it. For example, if you're selling cat food, you're not going to want to put it in front of dog lovers, right? So the point of the illustration is that you need to make sure that 1, you have something people want, and 2, that you match it up with the right people. So offers are not new, guys. And I talked about this yesterday. How many of you guys, I know some of you probably don't remember this, but those of us who are a little bit older, I can't really remember 8-tracks so much, but I do remember like the records, or maybe it was CDs. I think it was CDs, where it's like, you 13 records or tapes for $1. The point of an offer is that it's irresistible. This was hugely popular back in the day. And like I say, you see offers everywhere. You might not recognize them as an offer, which is one of the reasons I want to share, what this looks like. Cassettes, yes. So Fergus saying, yes, the cassettes. And Rachel saying, yes, she remembers. Good. I'm not the only one that remembers these things. And then Edward says, I remember the tapes as well as the CDs. Yes, this was a hugely popular offer, if you will, low-cost offer that really got people in the door. So they would say, hey, you'll get 13 records or tapes for $1, and then you had a monthly subscription, right? And then you got 15% off of music, and there were some other perks. But the point of it is that they had perks. And they put their product or service, packaged it up in such a way that it made it irresistible to their prospective buyers. And that is exactly what we all need to do. That is the moral to all of this, is how do we package what we have in such a way that it is irresistible to our prospective buyer? So let me give you another example. You walk into a fast food place, and guess what? Those combos are an offer. They package things together at a one price point that makes it more attractive for you to purchase it in a combo than it is to buy them individually. And likewise, you'll see a lot of upsells even in the fast food industry where, hey, do you want fries with that burger? They don't make a lot of money off of the burger, but they make more money off of the fries. Or, hey, do you want, instead of a medium-sized drink, do you want a large drink? So the point of it is that we're constantly seeing these things. We just don't always see them in the light of our own businesses. And that is a mindset that we need to shift. Because if it works for these bigger brands, guys, guess what? It works for us. It will work for us, because the mentality behind selling is the same, regardless of whether you're a big brand or you're a small fish. It's just the understanding the mentality and then packaging up how we present our products and our services. So this is what I want you to wrap your heads around. How can you take your existing knowledge and maybe even experience to create a quality product? In some cases, you may already have it. I'm going to give you an example of that today, that you can produce and launch in the shortest amount of time possible. The shortest amount of time possible. That's the key to this. And the way to do that is a mini offer. I'm going to talk to you a little bit. I talked a little bit yesterday on my live about the kind of the evolution of a sales funnel. I'm going to touch on that just again today, because I think there's connotation in case you missed yesterday. But what is an offer anywho? So again, I think a lot of people think that it's just their product or service, and it's not. And in fact, I would say it's probably not what you think it is. It is. Again, it's not just your product or your service. So let me give you an example. And I talked about this yesterday as well. Let's say you have a weight loss supplement, and you want to sell it for a higher ticket price in order for you to have a good margin on your profits, right? But hey, there's somebody on Amazon that's selling it for $19.97. It's the exact same product. How in the world am I going to be how am I going to be competitive with that person? In fact, how many of you guys feel like I've got stuff, but it's like everybody else's? So how can I be competitive? I've got, let's say you're a social media manager, and I've got these same services, but there's probably, 500 other social media managers all doing the same thing I'm doing. So how do I stand out? Well, this is how you do it. It's how you package up and present yourself. There is nothing new under the sun. It's all about how you showcase your value and add additional things that make you irresistible to your buyer versus your competitor. And so many people don't know how to do this, guys. So let me show you how. Let me just, like, if I have that same product and I want to charge $79.97 for it, then I add value to it. Maybe I add like a weight loss calculator, or I have a weight loss guide, an ebook that gives tips and strategies. Maybe I have free shipping. So if I'm just comparing apples to apples here, and I'm over on Amazon, or I'm like, I'm searching for stuff, and I see this offer, which one do you think people are going to buy? They're going to buy the one that has the most value, and they're willing to pay more for it. That's the kicker. They're willing to pay more for it, just to get the extra stuff. So that's what an offer is, guys. An offer is a package of things that revolve around your product or service, that gives additional value, that makes your product or service absolutely irresistible. And guys, as you are getting nuggets here, or I have aha moments, just drop those aha moments in. Edward says, aha, everything so far. Yeah. Thanks, Edward. So again, product, offer. See the difference? So one's a product, and you could even say, service. Okay, my service is just like everybody else. How do I make it better? How do I evolve it? How do I package it to where it is irresistible to my customer? And that's the difference here. Again, you'll see these all over the place. Netflix, join free for a month. That's irresistible, right? So it's not always about, adding value. It's sometimes just making it so irresistible that it's a no-brainer. So the key to this really is the no-brainer piece. All right. So let me talk a little bit about a traditional funnel, guys. And I always look at this, I really hate the concept of a sales funnel, because I always feel like I see all these people like just being dumped in at the top, right? But those that are not struggling right now, in this time that we're in, because it's a crazy time, there's a lot of people who have service-based businesses, and, they lost revenue. I would say there's a lot of other people who potentially are, for a variety of other reasons, same boat. Some people are scared to sell right now. You got to get over that. You got to get out there. You got to put yourself into a place of service. But again, looking at a traditional sales funnel, normally it's a lot of free stuff on the front side, and the money is way down in the funnel. So you've got your blog or your social media or free Facebook groups or free webinars, or what I call an ethical bribe in exchange for an email address. It's also called freebies, or, there's a lot of different names for ethical bribes, but the money is way down. As you can see, it's way down in the pile here, right? And we spend a lot of time on the front side trying to get a lot of people into our funnel, and we don't spend as much time on the money. And why is that? Because most of us are in business because we want to generate revenue, right? And yet we don't do the pieces. We don't put the pieces in place that will help us generate the revenue. It's the craziest thing ever, but I've been you. I understand it. Sometimes I'm like, golly, I would spend, 6 hours a day on social media and like an hour on income generating revenue things. And I bet you some of you all feel the same way right now. So in fact, there's no judgment here, guys. If that's you, where you feel like you spend a lot of your time each and every day on things that don't generate revenue, I'd love to hear from you, because I'm hoping that I'm getting ready to blow your socks off, and that you will shift that mindset. And we can put things in place to where it doesn't make it so hard for you to generate revenue. Okay, so let me show you a traditional sales funnel. So traditional sales funnels look like, and this is just a 3-step funnel. It could, you could have 4 or 5 steps to a funnel. In fact, you guys have probably purchased things where you buy something, or maybe you opt in, you get something that's free. And that's what I call an ethical bribe. You opt in for that. and then you immediately get sold into something that's low cost and then a core offer, something that's more expensive, or you'll just keep getting sold. Like I have been in funnels before where there's been like 10 upsells. It's so darn annoying, right? Where you're like, no, I don't want that. No, I don't want that. Stop trying to sell me. I got what I came here for. So it can be annoying. But at a baseline level, a traditional sales funnel is kind of like a 3 to 4 step funnel. And then the next, let me show you a mini offer funnel. A mini offer doesn't start with a freebie. It starts right with the money. Who wants to start with the money? Let me hear you. I want to hear who wants to start with the money instead of worrying about the free stuff. Now, the reason that I think that there's a massive shift happening in the online space is that so many people are tired of the freebie stuff. Honestly, the freebie stuff, now I'm not saying that you shouldn't have free stuff. That's not my intention at all. But I feel like there's a lot of people who are just over it, who, they're not as willing to trade their email address any longer for the free stuff. They're wanting something that is really going to help them. So traditionally, a free offer has been, hey, here, it'll solve a little bit of the problem, it touches on it. And then, of course, if they really want help, they have to pay for it. So I'll just speak for myself, I would rather just go ahead and pay for something that's low cost and get something that's really going to give me a result, right? And I think a lot of people are like that too. So this is what a mini offer funnel looks like. It is something that's low cost, usually less than usually less than $50. And I bet you if you go into your news feed here on Facebook, if you're on Facebook, mostly on Facebook, I see this happening a lot right now on Facebook, where there's a lot of people advertising mini offers right now. They're starting with those introductory, get the person to spend the first dollar with you kind of thing. The first dollar is the hardest to get people to spend with you. And if it's low cost, it's they're way more likely to purchase from you than, hey, here's something that's going to be really beneficial, but it's only $27, or hey, here's my big thing and it's $1,000. Which one do you think the people are going to go for first? The majority of people are going to go for the low cost offer. And that's why they're working, guys. You're bypassing the need to just build freebie seekers, and you're going directly for directly for the sale. And they are working. I'm using them. I've been using mini offers for years, but I'm skipping the free thing now and going right for the ask, and it's amazing. It's absolutely working. So that said, what's the problem here? Enter the problem. The problem is that the pieces that go into building a funnel, a sales funnel, there's a lot that goes into them, and most fail when they go about building one. So my intention, and that's one of the reasons let me not get ahead of myself, but basically when you're building a funnel, they're like Legos, and one piece builds on the next piece. So you have to, and this is a reverse of a funnel essentially, because when you're looking at a funnel, it comes down and funnels down, right? But when you're looking at building out your offer, it builds up because it stacks on each other. You have to have all the pieces in order for it to work. So you have to have your mini offer put together. What does it look like? And then you have to have a sales page, and then you have to have your core offer, and then you have to have a sales page for that. And all of it makes it very difficult to put all the pieces and parts together in one time block, right? It's a lot of pieces and parts, which is why I came up with a PDF to Profit, which is the foundational piece of it, which is creating the mini offer so that you can get that part done. Let's build your base. Let's get you going to where you can start creating revenue and have the first part of your sales funnel. All right. So what does a mini offer look like? They come in all shapes and sizes, guys. I have a ton of ideas that I teach in the course, and here's just some of them. Feel free to grab a screenshot if you want to. because, like I say, this is, I mean, there's so many ways of presenting your content. A PDF is just the vehicle that you package your content into, and deliver it. But your offer could be a myriad of things. It could be, but some of them could be in PDF format. You can even put video tutorials inside of a PDF. So it is, again, just a mechanism, a vehicle for delivering your offer. Okay, so let me share one of my top performing traditional sales funnels with you, because I want to paint the vision of what is possible. So traditionally, I'll just go back to the traditional sales funnel. And like I say, I've been around for a long time, and I didn't really learn the digital processes, the sales funnel piece, until about 7 or 8 years ago. So I've only been using sales funnels, I'd say about 8 years now. But I started with, this was one of my very first sales funnels, and it started with something free. It was 27 Facebook post ideas, that has been transitioned over that time to 27 social media post ideas. So I've had multiple iterations of what I'm sharing with you right now. But I've given away that freebie over 100,000 times. And of that, a percentage of those people bought my mini course, which was how to create your own amazing social media content. And I've ranged in pricing from $7 to $27 on that mini course, and found that it didn't really matter what I charged. I started with 7 and everybody snapped it up. I changed it to 17, snapped it up. I changed it to 27, snapped it up. It didn't really change my conversion rates for whether it was at 7 or 27. So I want to share that because that's important. And I've generated over $750,000 in sales from just that piece. And then I upsold them into what is currently my Business Builders Academy. That in the past was called my Inner Circle. And I've had a price range of $47 to $97 over that time frame. And I've generated over $1.5 million in sales from that component, just that component. So if you do the math on this, we're over $2 million from one funnel. Is anybody like, oh my gosh? I hope you're saying, oh my gosh, right now, because I want to paint the possibles for you. All right. So next up, let me share something I've done recently. Because that, like I say, that funnel that I just shared with you has been in existence for at least 6-7 years. And it's had some longevity. The point of it is, once you get this done, guys, once you get one funnel built, one offer built, you can build more offers. I build offers all the time now. And this is one of my recent ones, 9 steps to optimizing your LinkedIn profile. And this is the very first thing first example I wanted to share with you. So I had it kind of packaged up. There's the 9 steps. There's the checklist that goes with it. And then I did an offer bump. Now, an offer bump is something that is on the same order form. You've seen them where you just check the little box saying, yeah, I want this. And again, it stayed with that. It was in that same lane. So a lot of people said, yeah, I want that. So let me share why it works, guys, why this particular offer works. It works because it's focused on one solution. So I didn't do something that was like massive, like, okay, let me teach you how to use LinkedIn. No, I said, let me teach you how to optimize your LinkedIn profile with 9 easy steps. So that it was it solved one problem. The problem that people had is, oh my gosh, my LinkedIn profile is a hot mess. How do I fix that? And so I provided a solution for that one problem. And then I shortened their learning curve. So they're like, well, I don't know how to do that. So the reason it worked was because I gave them the steps. They had a problem. I shortened their learning curve. So education is a big factor in why this worked. I included additional perceived value. So the checklist was something they're like, oh, if I have that checklist, I can print it off and I can just, check off the things that I do as I do them, right? Makes sense. I mean, who doesn't like a good checklist? And then the next thing was the offer bump. It was pre-designed templates, and the pre-designed templates was for their cover on LinkedIn, and it saved them time, and they were willing to pay for that. They were even willing to pay extra for that because, again, it saved them time. And they were professionally designed by my design team, and all they had to do was go in and add their own imagery or add their own text. And again, it saved them time and energy. And they were able to, in a very short window of time, solve their problem, which was, I need to optimize my LinkedIn profile, right? So that's why it worked. Let me share one that I just literally pulled out of my Facebook newsfeed this morning. And I'm going to tell you why I think this one will work. It's 100 plus viral content templates, and they're $29.97. So, and you've probably seen them. In fact, you may have seen them in your Facebook newsfeed, or people are advertising them. You may have seen them on the internet somewhere. There's a lot of templates, scripts out there, a lot of things like that work. And the reason I think this works for this person is because it's, again, focused on one solution to a problem that people have. So it's creating those social media templates, or giving people those social media templates. Essentially, they're done for them. So it's saving them time and know-how. Those are both critical things when it comes to an offer. And not all offers are created equal, but this particular offer is focused around that. It's focused around saving people time and giving them knowledge that they didn't have previously in a shorter window of time. And it's also got included additional perceived value. They've got some video tutorials. They have a membership area where people log in. That's additional value that people do assign a value to when they're looking at trying to decide whether they're going to do this offer, spend money on this offer, or somebody else's that doesn't have these things. They're going to go with this person, right? And then this is the third example. And I know for those of you who have products, don't worry, I've got a product example coming up. But these are kind of like, I call them knowledge, taking something that people they're doing in their businesses and then packaging it up in a way that people are willing to pay for it. So here's another example. It's 800 ideas to share to your IG stories. And I think the reason this works is, again, it's focused on one solution to one problem. There's a lot of talk about Instagram stories right now, but yet a lot of people are struggling with them. So again, done for you. No more brain cramp on figuring out what you're going to have to, come up with. It's basically story prompts. There's a done for you strategy. Like I say, no more guessing. If you're trying to create engagement, then hey, here's the one that you would want to use. If you're trying to create conversion, this is a prompt that you would use for conversion. So there's no more guessing. So they're taking that extra brain power out of the equation for people and making it easy for people to create Instagram stories. And here's, again, included is additional perceived value. She had a whole slew of bonuses that went with her offer. Bonuses are always great as well. Okay, so here's a product offer. So take a look at this video for a second. Okay, like I say, this is a physical product, guys. And it's a video. I pulled it right out of my feed this morning because, again, I know some people have physical products. They're like, well, how do I do that? What's an offer look like around a physical product? So let me share why this works. It's 3 for 1. So it's like a BOGO, except it's three for 1, right? So you get 3 for 1. It's exclusive content. I don't know if you noticed, it didn't come. I'll just tell you this because I forgot to take a screenshot of this. But in the ad itself, there was the video, but in the copy, there was a link to a tutorial, 5 top makeup tips. So there was exclusive content that went with it. Now, you could have just gone there and not bought. You could certainly have done that. But it gave it additional value. It made it appear like they really cared about me as a buyer. They were giving me additional value, right? And then there was the bonus, which was the makeup bag. that's why this works. Now, another thing that made this offer really attractive to anybody who's like doesn't have a know, like, and trust factor with this brand, there was a massive amount of social proof, 25,000 five-star testimonials, or, satisfied customers. Now, maybe you don't have that many. But if you do, or if you just have, 100 or whatever it is, it lends some social proof to your offer. And I would say that's true for literally anything that you're trying to sell. I just noticed that they were using that, and I thought it was a wicked smart strategy. So I thought I'd share it with you guys. All right. Let me talk to you a little bit about one of my personal stories and how I have created a six-figure income out of something I already had. When I separated, some of you have followed me for a while, but my business partner and I in Boom Social went our separate ways. He decided he wanted to do e-commerce. I wanted to stay focused on helping entrepreneurs. And so we just, again, separated, went our separate ways. And I had to take a look at what I had. What did I already have built that I could monetize? And one of those things was the fact that I have been in the social media space for years. I have been creating social media content up for years. I have had so much success with viral content in particular, content that I create, visual content that I've created for social media. So I'm like, how can I package that up and sell it? So I created something called the Go Social Content Club. And I want you guys to think about, look at the lay of the land in your business. What do you already have that's created that maybe just needs to be packaged in such a way that people would want it? For me, it was images. And I created a monthly subscription called the Go Social Content Club. And it's pre-crafted, pre-designed social media content for the entrepreneur, the busy person who doesn't have may not have time, may not have great design skills, but they know they need to be in the social space, and they know they want great imagery. I have a team of professional graphic designers now, and all the content's created by them. So, but it started with something I already had. And then I just packaged it to where I could sell it. So now that has turned into a, six-figure income stream because it's a continuity program. People pay me monthly for that. So why does it work? It works because it's done for them. It's a huge time saver for people. Again, it provides them an opportunity to have content it's already done for them, and all they have to do is brand it. They can put their logos on it right within our platform. And I also have some real great bonus materials as well. Like, I would argue that my top viral content, which I give every month, is worth the price of admission, because viral content is hard to figure out, source ideas for, and then have it already proven and created for you is huge. So that is a bonus that makes this offer a no-brainer. But we also provide copy, the text that goes with, so you just copy and paste it into your social scheduler or whatever, and then we do a freebie Friday. So this works because it gives a lot of additional value for people. Now, tomorrow, guys, we're going to get started on my next iteration of my PDF to Profit course, creating that irresistible mini offer that your customers want to drool over. So if you know that you want to do this and you're interested in coming up with your next, or perhaps only, but if it's your only offer, trust me, this is a rinse and repeat system. Once you learn how to do it once, you'll be able to repeat it over and over again. So if you're interested in learning how to create your very own irresistible offer, guys, join me. This is a course that's delivered inside of a Facebook group. 7 days of training. Not only do you get the 7 days of training, you get a lot of other stuff, as you can see here. But I think the most valuable part of this literally is the hands-on. I'm in the group. My team is in the group. I give feedback on your offers, and that is just really invaluable. Let me get my camera to refocus there. So if you're interested, and I've tweaked your interest enough to where you're like, I want to create my own irresistible offer. I need a revenue stream like this. When I started with mine, I had no idea that original sales funnel would generate in excess of $2 million. I didn't, by the way, that was never the intention when it started. I think lots of times when you see the big numbers, it's a scary thing. You're like, well, I don't have anything that people would pay that much for. And I would have said, I thought the same thing. That funnel has been iterated over and over. It's been tested. And now the same thing happens. When I create offers, we have to test them. What really works, what doesn't work. But again, it's a rinse and repeat system. And it's so much easier now to build a funnel because it starts with that mini offer. And so that's basically what I want to do. I want to help you dissect the funnel and start with the building blocks. The first building block is your low-cost offer, your mini offer. So Paul, thank you, Paul. Paul says, I already took the course and it's awesome. Yes, Paul was in the last class, and Lori is saying, do you think you need an existing following in the niche and have developed the know, like, and trust factor? No. So, Lori, a lot of the things that you'll see in your Facebook feed, for example, many of those people probably have very small followings, and yet they're spending a small amount of money to get people to purchase their product or service. Really, it goes back to having something people want and matching it up with a traffic source. So if you don't have a traffic source, I'm not going to lie and tell you you're not going to need a traffic source. You're going to need a traffic source. And that may mean paying for that traffic source, again, if you don't have a community already. But if you do have a community, even if you have a community, I have a community. I have over 1.5 million people in the social space. I have a list that's substantial, but I still spend money on Facebook ads because it brings new people into my community. Because after a while, you can only sell as so much to an existing community, right? You have to always have new people coming into your funnel. So, and everybody thinks that you have to spend a lot of money on Facebook ads. So let me share a quick story. And I just know this because I listened to a podcast and I thought it was such a great story in the context of a mini offer. But this gal's name, her name is Allie Burke. I think I'm saying that correctly. And she had a mini offer. And she had really struggled. She was really struggling to make money. She had been at it for several years, and she's like, this stuff is not working for me. So she put together a mini offer, and she said, listen, I'm going to spend $30 a day for my $27 offer. And so she started with Facebook ads, spent $30 a day. Her goal was to sell one a day to cover her ad spend. And every time she did. Every day, and the more, like, if she would sell 5, she would put that money back into her, and she'd buy more ads. She'd put that money back into her ad spend because she knew that if she could get those people buying from her, then she could sell them other things. See, that's the beauty of having a list of buyers, people. It's so much more value-based than having a list of freebie seekers. And I talked about that yesterday. So if you want to circle back to that, yesterday's training, and I talked a lot about the value of a buyer versus a freebie seeker. I'm so looking forward to working with you, Teresa. And so is the course on Facebook, Zoom, or do I receive pre-recorded templates, and when does it begin? It begins tomorrow, Thursday at 11 a.m. inside of the Facebook group. And you should have gotten all your details in your email. So make sure you join the Facebook group. Everything is delivered hands-on. Like I say, no pre-recordings. I'm in the group. I'm answering questions. I'm reviewing content, reviewing ideas, all of that. So hopefully that answers that question. So guys, I'm hopeful that I can work with you because I'd love to work with you to build your mini offer. It's the first component of a sales funnel. It also allows you to quickly monetize without worrying about a freebie. All right. Excellent. All right. Well, guys, I'm always appreciative. Even if you say, this isn't for me right now, keep it in the back of your mind. I hope I have planted a seed that you can circle back to, or even take a look at what you have in your business right now and say, how could I package up something I have and put it out there to where it'd be value-based to my ideal client or customer? So like I say, hopefully I've planted some seeds and you guys will take me up on what you've learned today. If you want a little bit more, details, knowledge, then join me, kimgarst.com/join PDF to profit. I'd love to work with you hands-on. All right, guys. Talk to you soon. Have a great rest of your day. God bless. Stay safe.